Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into one of the most counterintuitive and impactful self-help books of the last decade, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a by Mark Manson. Now, if you're expecting a book that teaches you how to be indifferent or to not care about anything, you've got the wrong idea. This isn't about being passive or apathetic. It's about learning to care less about the things that don't matter, so you can free up energy to care more about the things that truly do. So let's break down the core ideas of this game-changing book. It all starts with a paradox. The key to a good life isn't about being happier, wealthier, or more successful. In fact, the relentless pursuit of more positive experiences is itself a negative experience. Why? Because it constantly reminds you of what you lack. Think about it. If you're constantly telling yourself you need to be happy, you're reinforcing the fact that you aren't. Manson calls this the feedback loop from hell. You feel anxious, then you get anxious about being anxious. It's a vicious cycle. The solution? Stop trying so hard. This is summed up by the poet Charles Bukowski's epitaph, "Don't try." This doesn't mean don't take action. It means stop trying to force a specific perfect outcome. Stop being so attached to being positive all the time. The real art is to become comfortable with being different, with failure, and with adversity. You reserve your energy, your cares, for what is true, immediate, and important. Everything else, let it go. This leads to a mind-bending realization. Happiness is not the absence of problems. Happiness is the process of solving problems. Life is an endless series of problems. The key is to find problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. Manson introduces a crucial question. It's not, what do I want to enjoy? The more important question is, what pain am I willing to sustain? What struggle are you willing to embrace? Because everything worthwhile comes with an associated struggle. Getting in shape, building a great relationship, creating a successful business, they all require their own unique form of pain. Your chosen struggle determines your success. So, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your problems. And to choose the right struggles, you need the right mindset. Our culture is obsessed with exceptionalism. We're all told we can be extraordinary, but the truth is, most of us are pretty average at most things, and that's perfectly okay. True growth comes from accepting that you are mediocre, that you have a lot to learn. People who become great at something do so because they understand they're not already great, and they're obsessed with improvement. Embrace the ordinary, because it's in these simple moments that we often find what actually matters. So you are always going to suffer. The question is not how to avoid suffering, but what are you choosing to suffer for? Your values determine the nature of your problems. If you have bad values, you'll have bad problems. Manson defines good values as being reality-based, socially constructive, and immediate and controllable. Bad values are the opposite. They're superstitious, socially destructive, and often outside of your control, like pleasure, material success, or the need to always be right. The goal of self-improvement, then, is to choose better values. When you give your energy to better things, like honesty, creativity, and standing up for others, you get better problems. And better problems make for a better life. This brings us to perhaps the most empowering concept in the book. You are always choosing. Manson makes a critical distinction between fault and responsibility. Fault is about the past. It's about who caused the problem. Responsibility is about the present and future. It's about who is going to fix it. You may not be at fault for something bad that happened to you, but you are always responsible for how you choose to deal with it. Taking responsibility for your problems is the first step towards solving them. The more responsibility you accept, the more power you actually have over your life. And to use that power wisely, you have to embrace being wrong. Certainty is the enemy of growth. Our brains are flawed machines that are great at making up stories. To truly grow, you must constantly question your beliefs and assumptions. Growth is an endless process of being wrong to being slightly less wrong. Ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? Being open to that possibility is what allows you to learn, change, and improve. This is where failure comes in. Improvement at anything is based on thousands of tiny failures. The magnitude of your success is based on how many times you failed. If you're not willing to fail, you're not willing to succeed. To overcome the fear of failure, Manson introduces the do-something principle. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Motivation isn't the cause of action, it's the effect of it. The formula is simple: action, inspiration, motivation. If you're stuck, do something, anything. Start with the smallest possible step. The simple act of doing will create the momentum you need. All of these ideas culminate in the book's final and most profound value, the contemplation of your own mortality. This is where the philosophy becomes truly powerful. Manson recounts the tragic death of his childhood friend, Josh, who drowned at a party. This event threw him into a deep depression. But from that emptiness, he had a startling realization. He writes, "If there really is no reason to do anything, then there is also no reason to not do anything." In the face of death, our fears and embarrassments lose their power. He realized that by avoiding pain and discomfort, he had been avoiding life itself. Ironically, it was someone else's death that gave him permission to finally live. He explains this through the work of anthropologist Ernest Becker. Becker said that humans are unique because we know we will die. This causes a deep death terror. To compensate, we create immortality projects. We strive for fame, build legacies, have children, all in an attempt to make our conceptual self live forever. But here's the crucial twist. Becker realized on his own deathbed that these immortality projects are actually the problem, not the solution. The real freedom comes from accepting the inevitability of our death, not from frantically trying to escape it. He illustrates this by describing his own experience sitting on the edge of a massive cliff. He felt that intense primal fear, but by willingly staring at his potential doom and acknowledging it, he achieved a state of profound peace. He reminded himself, it's all right to die. This practice has ancient roots. The Stoics, the Buddhists, they all understood. As Mark Twain said, the fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Confronting the reality of our death obliterates all the fragile, superficial values in life. It forces us to ask the most important question. In the limited time I have, what truly matters? What is my legacy? When we avoid this question, we let trivial worries hijack our minds. But happiness always comes from caring about something greater than yourself. Manson concludes with this powerful message: you are already great, not because of your success, but because in the face of endless confusion and certain death, you continue to choose what to care about. This simple act makes you beautiful and loved, even if you don't realize it. The primary lesson is this: there is nothing to be afraid of, ever. Accepting your own fragility makes everything easier. Facing your fears, accepting failure, taking responsibility. The more you peer into the darkness, the brighter life gets. So, to summarize this entire book, life is about not knowing and then doing something anyway. It's about choosing what you're going to care about, embracing the struggles that come with it, and moving forward despite the inevitable failures. Stop trying to be positive all the time. Stop running from your problems. Choose better values, take responsibility, and start giving your precious energy to the few things that make life truly meaningful. Thanks for listening.